You didn't expose them. You just stopped reacting. And that's what scared them. Because when someone can't trigger you anymore, they start studying you. At first they thought you were distracted, quiet, maybe even intimidated. But then something shifted. You started listening more than speaking, observing more than responding, smiling without revealing anything. And suddenly, they couldn't read you. That's when discomfort began. See, most people feel safe when they can predict you. Predictable people are controllable. Predictable emotions are manageable. Predictable reactions are usable. But you removed the script. And now, they don't know which version of you they're dealing with. That's not aggression, that's evolution. You stopped explaining yourself. You stopped correcting assumptions. You stopped defending your intentions. Not because you couldn't, but because you realized something powerful. People reveal themselves when you stay silent. And you started collecting information. Let's go deeper. When you argue, people prepare. When you defend, people counter. But when you observe, people unravel. They fill silence with confession. They expose insecurity through overconfidence. They project weakness through forced dominance. And you noticed quietly. Now here's the part they don't like. You remember everything. Patterns, tone shifts, energy changes, inconsistencies. You don't confront immediately. You log it. And when the moment comes, you move accordingly. That's what unsettles them, because they operate emotionally. You operate strategically. You used to react fast. Now you respond slow. That difference alone changed the dynamic. When they tried sarcasm, you smiled. When they tried subtle disrespect, you didn't flinch. When they tried to bait you, nothing. And nothing is terrifying to someone who thrives on reaction. Let's be honest. Your emotional discipline feels like X-ray vision to them. Because you see the insecurity behind the confidence, the envy behind the compliment, the fear behind the aggression, and you don't call it out. You adjust. That's power. Here's why this matters. Most people depend on emotional chaos to maintain control. If they can make you angry, they feel powerful. If they can make you explain, they feel superior. If they can make you doubt, they feel safe. But when none of that works, they feel exposed, and exposure feels like danger. You didn't become cold. You became clear. There's a difference. Coldness is ego. Clarity is awareness. You're not detached from emotion. You're detached from manipulation. And they can feel that. Notice how the energy shifted. They used to approach casually. Now they measure their words. They used to interrupt you. Now they listen more closely. They used to test you publicly. Now they test you indirectly because they're unsure, and uncertainty creates caution. Here's the truth most won't admit. When someone can't read you, they project onto you. You've changed. You're different. You're acting weird. No, you're just no longer accessible in the same way, and limited access increases perceived power. Let's zoom out. You mastered something rare. Emotional neutrality, not suppression, not avoidance, neutrality. That calm, steady presence that doesn't spike under pressure. It's unsettling because it mirrors others back to themselves. And not everyone likes what they see. The strongest presence in a room isn't the loudest, it's the most regulated. The person who doesn't rush to fill silence. The person who doesn't overshare to connect. The person who doesn't react to dominate. That's you now. And people sense it before they understand it. You've become unpredictable in the most controlled way. You don't reveal plans early. You don't announce intentions loudly. You don't telegraph emotion unnecessarily. So when you act, it lands. That precision makes people uncomfortable because they can't prepare for it. And here's the psychological shift. You stop needing to be understood. That alone raised your value. When validation isn't required, energy becomes conserved. When approval isn't chased, confidence becomes natural. And natural confidence feels dangerous to insecure minds. You didn't learn to intimidate. You learned to regulate. You didn't learn to manipulate. You learned to observe. You didn't learn to dominate. You learned to detach from unnecessary battles. And that maturity feels like mystery to people who never evolved. Now think about this. When someone realizes you see through them, they have two options: improve or distance themselves. Watch what they choose. That choice tells you everything. You're not walking into their dreams. You're walking into rooms fully aware. And awareness changes everything, because when you see the game, you stop playing it the same way. And when you stop playing it the same way, the rules stop working on you. That's why the energy shifted. Not because you became intimidating, but because you became internally stable. And stability cannot be shaken by surface tactics, so attempts fail, and failed attempts create fear. Here's the quiet truth. The moment you stopped reacting impulsively, you gained leverage. The moment you stopped explaining prematurely, you gained control. The moment you stopped needing the last word, you gained authority. Authority doesn't shout, it settles. If this resonates, it's because you felt it. The subtle change in how people treat you, the slight hesitation, the careful tone, the longer eye contact, that's not paranoia. That's awareness meeting awareness. But remember this. This power isn't for ego, it's for alignment. Stay disciplined, stay observant, stay regulated, because true strength isn't making people uncomfortable. It's being so grounded that manipulation can't move you. And when people finally realize you see through them, don't say anything. Just keep moving with precision, because the most unsettling presence is the one that doesn't need to announce itself. You didn't become dominating, you became intentional, and that changes everything. If you're in this phase right now, don't break it. Refine it, because awareness, when mastered, is influence without effort. Stay free,